called himself a hillbilly, wrote an elegy of problem and his trouble as he went back and he doubled down on the fascism and the lies, and then he made a fatal crime. Couch fucker, what's your deal? J.D. Vance is cut by Peter Attill. Couch fucker, why must he lie? We must stop Project 2025. But in 2005 he wrote back then only one time. I felt femininely when I saw that movie about New Jersey. I don't know what's wrong with me, but must deny. And that's when J.D. Vance said he wants trans people to go die. Couch fucker, what's your deal? J.D. Vance is cut by Peter Attill. Couch fucker, why must he lie? We must stop Project 2025. At the RNC, he felt maybe I'll be free if I take up on this task, being MAGA starting grass to take over the country. I think J.D. Vance needs a swirly. Couch fucker, what's your deal? J.D. Vance is cut by Peter Attill. Couch fucker, why must he lie? We must stop Project 2025. Couch fucker, what's your deal? J.D. Vance is cut by Peter Attill. Couch fucker, why must he lie? We must stop Project 2025.
So this is a song that we wrote, I wrote with my friend Mike Richardson, who's from southern West Virginia, and it's about the coal mining wars in West Virginia in the 1920s, called the Battle of Blair Mountain. 2, 3, 4. Drain the black gold, hoping to God that the timbers hold. Like my father before me, it's all I know. We live only to harvest the coal, harvest the coal. Mine owner's mercy, about as shallow as a grave. We're living in shanty towns, we ain't got no say. 14-hour shifts, such a meager wage. And Mother Jones can't help us now anyway, anyway. We'll take the roads, take the trees by force. Oh, deliver us alone from the gathering stores. Lay down your Bibles, take up your guns. Blair Mountain, here we come. Oh, here we come. Red bandanas that tell us what side you're on. Yeah, we're the rednecks of the Union 1921. We'll leave tonight at 13,000 strong and take the fight Blair Mountain before the dawn, before the dawn. We'll take the roads, we'll take the trains by force. Oh, deliver us, love, from the gathering storms. Lay down your Bibles, take up your guns, Blair Mountain, here we come, oh, here we come. Oh, I fight for my father, still buried in the mine. I fight for my son, so he'll have a better life. We're soldiers of a great war, and it don't seem right to treat a man like a dog just to make a dime, just to make a dime. We'll take the roads, we'll take the trains by force. Oh, deliver us, love, from the gathering storms. Lay down your Bibles, take up your guns, Blair Mountain, here we come, oh, here we come.
No, this one isn't AI. This is Luis Mosri,
Here we come.
Battle of Blair Mountain.
So find a vein, drain the black gold. You better hope to God that those timbers hold.
Hello, 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 everybody. How we all doing? How we all doing, folks? Hello. Hello, Gamergy. Hello. Thank you for keeping the hope alive, folks. Hello, Sweeney Jimbus. Hello, Archangel Dakab. Hello, Danger Days. Hello, Forlorn79. Hello, Firefishy. Hello, Indigo Phoenix. Hello, Thistles for Eyes. Hello, P Cheek. Hello, I Like Bread. Hello, Banana Brains. Hello, John Bainbridge. Hello, No Cash. Hello, Geoduck Geoscience. We need more ducks. Hello, Catalina Gearbox. Hello, Taylor S. And hello, one and all, folks. Hello, the Great Fluffy. Hello, hello, hello. I need to get back to posting segments, but it's been hard to gather the will to do the editing. Hello, Weird Beards. Hello, ABA Oats. Hello, Matthew H. Hello, Sam Long. Hello, Jazz Dog, the jazziest dog I know. Hello, Right of Center Left. Hello, Very Knifey Duck. That's right, you've got a lot of new duck playmates to play with, Very Knifey Duck. Also, Very Knifey Duck, if you are at all interested in being a mod, let me know, okay? Hello, White Run Guard. Emma Fellow Trans. Until you took the Biden camp to the knee, I see. Hello, Ever Afre. Hello, PC Schwarz. Hello, Punky Gal. Hello, Mr. Malachite. Hello, Harold. Hello, Ms. Milena. Am I supposed to have a blue name in here? You will at some point. I need to remind me in the Discord, because I'm not dealing with that right now. It's rigmarole. But yes, you should be blue. I'll fix it eventually. Hello, Vinny Vex. Hello, Erica. Hello, Fox of Fate. Hello, Nine-Tailed Witch. Hello, Salty Turtle Cupcake. Hello, Sake Tanuki.
Why are there Pop-Tarts but not Mom-Tarts? Because of the pastryarchy.
Okay, that one got me. That one got me. That one got me good. I'm not gonna lie.
Said
That
I
hit
was
me
going to
right where I'm
Dono
weak.
when I got paid last week. That was a lie. I had bills to pay, but I just got my pay for this week, so I'm sticking to my word. Thank you for being my stream for the election.
Well, the flesh lives. Thank you for the $10 dono. I very much appreciate it. And I am sorry that I feel like I didn't do very good election night coverage because things just got progressively worse as the night went on, but hopefully I was a bit helpful. How hello, Penguin Trinity. Hello, Lady Raincloud. Hello, Echo Baz. Hello, Horizon. I cannot stress enough how much that shit slapped. That song that we opened stream with. Yeah, I like it a lot. I want to like kind of maybe reorient stream a little bit content wise to like, and this will require more effort on my part, but I want to do some research and reading up on like the history of the labor movement in the U.S. so that I can, you know, talk about it more coherently on stream with you guys, and you know, give you know, our forebears what they're due, because they had to deal with a lot more bullshit than we do, frankly. And I think maybe in the times to come we can take some strength from their struggle, huh? I know that has always helped me as a trans person, knowing that trans people before me have struggled against far greater odds and won and overcome and persevered, and so shall we. So that's kind of where I'm at with content stuff. Now that everything is pretty well fuckered, can we get back to our game finally? Maybe, we'll see. My plan was to take like a month off at the end of this year and just like do a bunch of things that I've been putting off for ages, like work on our game, like finishing an editing project that I've been working on forever. And that's, you know, we're in the bad times now, so I'm gonna be trying my best to. We have forebears. I see what you mean. I see you. May future generations live to see less interesting times. Yeah, the whole end of history, Francis Fukuyama, really didn't pan out, did it? Do you think online services like Plume will be stripped away as well? Yeah, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I would not trust healthcare in conservative states to be accessible under a Trump administration if you're trans. That's why we're putting together... Oh, hi, Hail Saybeck. But it's why we've been putting together a list of folks who are willing to help people in the community move. I guess I can throw that up there. Let's do a little check-in, huh? So, folks, since we announced the resource, again, this is all accessible on our Discord. Since we announced the resource, several people have stepped up, gone through some vetting, and are now on the list of people willing to transport folks to help move people to safer blue states from red states. You know, if you are going to have trouble covering moving expenses, this is one of the ways. I wouldn't necessarily say it's your go-to if you have other options, but if you don't, this is one way you can get you and yours out of dangerous areas. And thank you to everyone who's signed up so far. My hope is that we'll get a whole lot more, obviously. And yeah, Gamerg, that would be lovely. If you make that, feel free to like edit it into this document. And additionally, we have, you know, the Twin Cities document. People have been submitting stuff in the Discord, like to the Discord channel. Don't do that. Just submit it directly to the doc. I'll be putting whatever's in there into the document myself tomorrow, but there's a lot of stuff in the Discord, so this is actually a lot more filled out than it looks like. We opened up a new area for Portland, Vancouver today at the request of members of the community. We also opened up an area for Seattle, which folks have been filling out steadily, which is great. And these are for our Lavender Pages project, folks, which is to help people who are relocating to safe blue metropolitan areas to kind of give people some information about what's going on in those communities. Where are the safe places? Where are the safe, clinics? Where are the safe services? What can you access, etc. So if you live in one of these areas, or you live in a state that has good LGBTQ protections, please join our Discord.
Thank you for being a candle in the dark, Jack.
Pierce the Veil. I don't know how much credit I can take for that, but thank you for the $5 super chat. So go in there, fill it out. We also have the Denver area. I don't know if I threw that up on screen, but there's a Denver area. It's good stuff. Folks are working hard. But if you are, in one of these safe areas, if you're in like New York City, if you're in LA, and you want to help people who are coming to find refuge in your area to figure out the lay of the land, this is one way you can help. I know at least one of the people who has been helping to fill out this map, they live out of their car, and they're going through it right now, but like this is one way they can help other people, and that's, I think, really amazing and commendable. So yeah, if you're poor, if you're struggling, but you have some time, this is a way you can help out. Also worth pointing out here, one last thing. I've been really surprised and delighted to see a bunch of you filling out your different skill sets and your locations, which is great. Basically, this mutual aid skills sign-up sheet is you putting your skill set out there to say, these are the things I can do to help others in the community, and kind of making your skill available to everyone else. Maybe block the emails. These are all publicly available. All of these documents are publicly available. Like, you can go to them on the Discord. Also, maybe don't use your personal email that's like georgeharrison@gmail.com. Don't use that kind of email. But folks are posting skills like cooking from scratch, adaptive strategies for living with disability, gardening, skills with various vehicles like tractors, scissor lifts, forklifts, more, stick welding, carpentry. These are good skills. If you want to learn those skills, or like if you know how to sew and want to help mend items in the community, this is a way to do it. Okay, this is a way you can like. Was that an intentional reference to the only decent Beetle? Yes. We'll teach you how to Daka Daka. I don't remember what Daka Daka is. I think is that from Star Trek? Is that a Star Trek thing I'm not remembering? So anyway, like these are, I think, it's from Warhammer. It's the orc stuff. They say Daka Daka. It means guns. Yeah. But yeah, this is a way to reach out to people. Go check it out. I think it's a really useful resource, especially I think as things get harder in the future. Knowing who we can reach out to in the community for our various needs is going to be really important. Because I don't want to sugarcoat it, guys. It's going to get really hard. It's going to get bad for a lot of people, and possibly like tank the entire economy. Like it's going to be bad. People are going to suffer, and I think that when shit really starts hitting the fan, this is the kind of stuff that might help us and like build some threads between one another that can support us in emergency. So And also keep in mind, this is only as strong and only as useful given how many of you choose to actually be a part of this and build it up. Because I can't do that on my own. You know, I'm just one person. You guys collectively are way stronger than I am. And so if you are at all inclined here, again, riverboat.gg/discord, and you can go in. It's under the resources category and under the Lavender Pages category. Those are the two categories to look for. All of the relevant documents, Google Docs, that are centralizing the information, you can access in the pinned tabs on those various parts of the Discord, okay? My only skill is growing good weed. I mean, that's a good skill, though. That's a good skill. Ah, Geoduck, I'd love to go live in New Zealand. I would love it. It's just really hard to emigrate to New Zealand. You guys do not make it easy. All right. Also, hey, Paladin Lost, how you doing? Why am I even bother asking people how they're doing? I know the answer's bad. I know the answer's bad, guys. You're not really not good at technology. You're 40 and struggling, but you're trans. Wait a minute. You're trans and bad at technology? That's counter to the stereotype. Thank God. We need people to break that glass ceiling for us. That's awesome, Renee Hill. The excellent skill sets to put into that doc. I'm doing okay, actually. Hell yeah, Erica, let's go. Creating the soon-to-be world's greatest song. You are Jazz Dog. I can vouch for Jazz Dog's statement here. I've heard a couple of the early versions of it, and frankly, I'm really excited for the finished version. Considering the bill my state passed today, I'm doing wonderful. Yeah, Ohio is not a good place. You know, the Japanese in all of the Japanese anime I watch, they are constantly talking about Ohio, and they always seem so happy about it, but it's really not seeming like a great place right now. I don't understand. Very Knifey Duck, thank you for subscribing on Twitch.
I was wondering why I had ads. It's fixed now.
There you go. Boo! I should be booed for that. Ohio's for the memes. I liken Ohio to Bemidji. It's I like to joke that Bemidji's not a real place. It's just a place all Minnesotans made up to be a place in the middle of nowhere. Hey, Lanzetta, how you doing? Punky Gal, thank you for subscribing over on Twitch. I appreciate you.
43 months.
43 months. As the kids say, Ohio skibbity riz. Indeed. Also, look, we're gonna open stream with a few good things. A few good things. As a treat, because we're gonna get the bad stuff, and there's nothing really I can do about this. Like, the news is gonna be bad, and in a lot of the days coming up here, the news is gonna be bad. I'm gonna be taking a bit more effort to find some good stuff to open up the show. In choppy waters ahead, as it were. So first, I did want to say, if you're feeling like you are predicting a worst case scenario, okay? Can I redeem a sing? I would prefer if you didn't right now. Maybe next stream. But keep it in your back pocket, okay? Zelda commercial? No. One of the things I watched today while I was working out was, or rather I listened to it, was this video. Which, goodness, why was it so small? The realities of Trump's mass deportation plan, which, oddly enough, it's Majority Report, Sam Cedar, excellent program. You should all watch it if you watch my show. But frankly, this was terrifying, but at least it grounded my fears in some kind of reality. And I think a lot of us need to do that. One of the issues that I think a lot of folks who especially might be on the receiving end of persecution from the Trump administration, I'm just going to link this in chat here, is that a lot of us aren't really sure what's going to happen, how it all works, what are the mechanisms here. And obviously a lot of mechanisms in our government are about to be broken, some irrevocably, but what is definitely going to be the case is that there is going to be kind of a certain point where the delusions and the hyperbolic language of this fascist, administration is going to have to meet the road. Like, the rubber has to meet the road at some point, and that road is reality, which is that it is, frankly, going to be bad. It's not necessarily going to be that the Trump administration is going to spend, tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars trying to deport 4% of the population. That is, is it still possible to keep this from happening? No, no. We missed the off-ramp. The off-ramp was getting Kamala Harris as president. We missed that. So now we're in the bad timeline. How can we donate to your channel? You can become a member over on YouTube. You can come to riverboat.gg and subscribe. You just type riverboat.gg into your web search bar, your Google Chrome URL bar. Come on over here. There's a little subscription tab you can click. That money goes directly to me, which is pretty nice. As opposed to like YouTube taking a cut, but whatever floats your boat. But what I'm trying to say here is that there is going to be a very real monetary cost to what they want to do. There's going to be very real limitations in terms of time, equipment, people, the logistics of all of this that are going to be prohibitive to a certain degree. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, Sweeney Jimbus, because while everything in this video from the Majority Report is horrifying, right? It is also grounding in a reality of kind of what do we expect. And honestly, I think it might be worth us going through this video. You guys might find it a bit indulgent, but I think for a lot of folks, it's useful to kind of know what I mean. And I think you can apply a lot of the lessons we learned from this conversation to a lot of what's coming down the pipeline in a lot of other respects. Because I think it's pretty undeniable that undocumented immigrants are going to be hit the hardest by the Trump administration. I think trans people are also up there in terms of who's going to get hit hard by this. But Yeah, Amber Brains. That was the other one I was gonna suggest. But I think this one helped me in particular. So let's dive in. We'll see how much I can add to the conversation. I think I might be able to add a little bit.
Technical problems. I think we've fixed it. We have Aaron Reichlin Melnick, senior fellow at the American Immigration Council, by phone. So Aaron, just
Also, the American Immigration Council specializes in, as you might expect, immigration affairs. And so this guy, his entire job is right now about knowing how to figure out what's going to happen, and he knows the mechanics of how these kinds of deportations work.
to repeat what I had asked you up front. One of the most articulated or radical policies that we've heard out of the Trump administration is the deportation of up to 11 million people. It is that policy sounds more real when you realize that Stephen Miller is now a chief policy advisor for Donald Trump, or will be in the Trump administration. Tom Homan, the border czar, and maybe you can explain to us what that is in the Trump administration. Kristi Noem will be the...
Whoa. Spoilers. We're going to go over the appointments in a little bit, okay? Forget these names. Forget them. Because we're doing a segment about them later.
The chief of the Department of Homeland Security. How real is this prospect of deporting 11 million people?
Well, to start with the idea of 11 million, it's extremely unrealistic that any presidential administration, no matter how harsh they wanted, could deport 11 million people in 4 years, because that number is just so high. We're talking nearly 4% of the entire U.S. population. And the logistics involved with any kind of operation to round up, arrest, detain, process, and remove 11 million people is so enormous that it's almost inconceivable. We're talking costs in the hundreds of billions of dollars to actually carry out. That is not to say that the administration that is coming in right now cannot significantly ramp up immigration enforcement and make it far more indiscriminate than it is today, all of which will likely bring up overall deportation numbers quite a lot.
Yeah, so one thing I really want to point out here is that it's still gonna be bad. It's just not necessarily going to be as bad as our worst possible fears, if that makes sense.
But 11 million is probably more along the lines of
Hey,
public
tipster.
relations than it is an actual plan for the next 4 years.
Okay, and we should say, just for context, there was an operation called Operation Wetback during the Eisenhower years. I think it was in 1950. I can't remember exactly, but supposedly it involved 1.3 million. But I think historians would argue that it was probably closer to a quarter of that of people who were deported, and that took huge
absolutely,
resources
Jazz
over the
Dog.
course of an extended period of time. And I imagine also that was, a function of having a lot of vets coming back from the war. And but what are they going to do? I mean, how is this going to play out? If they're not going to do 11 million, what will they do?
Yeah, and in going back to Operation Wetback really quickly, this is
Which, by the way, don't repeat the name of that operation. Just as an FYI, don't do that. It's a slur.
the major operation which President Trump has been citing as his inspiration for the deportations that he promises in this term. But crucially, the majority of people who were caught up in that operation left on their own out of fear. And the actual number of deportations
Who the fuck named it that? Racists.
was far more limited. not only that, many people immediately came back because the border was a lot more porous 70 years ago than it is today. So the actual impact, a lot of historians believe, of the operation was pretty minimal. Within a few years, the numbers of undocumented immigrants in the country were largely the same. So what is the key difference today? Well, today we have a massive expansion of the immigration enforcement system across the United States, not just at the U.S.-Mexico border. Surveillance systems built up, and the ability of ICE to find people through the use of private tools like Clearview AI, license plate reader data, Lexis data, and individualized personal data that makes it easier for the government to find people than at any point before in U.S. history. So there will be an increase in the populations targeted. They're going to go after the so-called easy cases first and round up anyone who's nearby using so-called collateral arrests. What that might look like, for example, is a team of ICE agents that get sent to a house, and rather than arresting just the one single target there, they force every person in the house to show their papers and arrest anybody who else is undocumented there. And we saw similar practices during the first Trump administration, and we expect these to be expanded significantly in the next one.
Who are, when they go to that house, I get the idea that they're just going to try and arrest everybody around this person. But how do they assess who that first person's going to be? I mean,
Yeah, so this is something important, which is that oftentimes, like, immigration targets one specific undocumented immigrant. And what the Trump administration seems to want to do is to just be a lot less specific. But what's kind of interesting here is that one of the people that they put in charge of ICE, and, you know, in charge of, or Trump wants to put in charge anyway, is one of the people who has actually done this work and who knows that you can't just, like, arrest anyone who looks Hispanic, which is kind of what, like, the Trump administration in its stupidity wants to do. And so that is an interesting point of contention already, just kind of percolating under the surface, because they don't really know how any of this works. They just want to make it work so that they have a talking point to bring to their base.
my understanding is like during the Obama administration, which deported a tremendous amount of people, their first order of deportation was people with any type of like criminal record. How does
also Banana Brains? No, the term predated the operation. It was actually first used by the New York Times. Thanks, New York Times, for giving us one of the worst and most enduring slurs for Hispanic people. You assholes.
does it work? How will it work under the Trump administration? And how
But yeah, it predated the operation by like 30 years.
did it work under the Biden administration?
Yeah, so, when we look at the Trump administration's promises, the one thing they are now coalescing around is we are maybe not going to do mass raids. We're going to go after the criminals first. But the thing is, ICE has already been focusing on people with criminal convictions, and that was the key policy of President Obama in his second term, so-called felons.
I
not
have,
families.
Danny boy. I've been working out.
And what we saw in the first term is they abandoned that concept of prioritization and said there are no priorities. Everyone is a priority. But what that means in practice is that you actually start ending up arresting more people without criminal records, because if you're not prioritizing only those with the most serious offenses, you start picking up people for garden variety immigration offenses, including people with no criminal record whatsoever. But as this question about how do they find those people, in the 20 years since 9/11, we have seen ICE integrated into nearly every federal law enforcement database. So ICE gets new targets when state, local, or federal law enforcement fingerprint somebody and it's run through the NCIC, the National Criminal Information Center.
Yeah, and Forlorn 79 brings up a really good point, which is that Joe Biden currently is deporting like 750,000 undocumented immigrants, and like we already deport a lot of people. So if it does go up to like 1 million, that's hundreds of thousands more people being deported. But that might honestly be like the win here, and not like for in the eyes of the Trump administration. That might be enough for them to just be like, okay, we did it, everybody, wrap it up and go home. Like that kind of, I mean, essentially like virtue signaling to their base might be all that they're really looking for from this. So just to kind of ground it a little bit in what they actually want out of that.
They have a couple of other databases that are constantly running and being queried by local law enforcement whenever somebody comes into custody. So it is fundamentally a target-based system. And I think this is really crucial for people to understand. ICE has never had a system to go out into the community and find people that are not already on their radar. And if the Trump administration wanted to round up all the undocumented immigrants, they would have to create a system to do that, which would look like indiscriminate enforcement and not the target-based kind of system that Tom Homan so far has promised. So we really have a tension in what the campaign has said. On the one hand, you have Stephen Miller promising to round up every, quote, illegal alien in the entire country, all 11 million. And then you have people like Tom Homan, who have much more experience on the ground, saying, no, these are just going to be targeted operations. And, you know, which of those two wins that battle remains to...
I mean, I feel like what we're kind of looking at here, the tension that he's describing here ultimately boils down to, you know, a guy who's done this work, I would describe it as pretty evil work his entire life, versus, you know, the administration saying, no, we want them all rounded up, see? And that basically career guy who's dedicated his life to rounding up undocumented immigrants and deporting them, having to patiently explain that no, you can't just arrest all Hispanic people, which is pretty obvious, but might not be to the kind of people in Trump's orbit.
To be seen.
Yeah, I mean, how does if Homan doesn't get the numbers that he wants, I mean, are there the numbers there that the administration and the campaign has promised? I mean, there is like
Spitfire.
I can't help but think if they haven't deported X number of people in the first 6 months, there's going to be pressure, right? I mean, somebody, it's going to be some senator, it's going to be some House member, maybe it's Stephen Miller, are going to be like, we need to do more. So is there enough?
I mean, honestly, let me even spell this out a little bit more. The reason why there would be like significant Republican elected politician pushback to the kind of mass, widespread, just round up anyone who may be undocumented is because at the end of the day, like, they know that a lot of these undocumented immigrants, you know, in heartland America, they pick the food. They are the folks that move the food into the grocery store. You know, without them, the entire system collapses. Without them, farmers go bankrupt. Without them, mass farming conglomerates collapse. Like, we actually saw this under the last Trump administration when, you know, he did deport some undocumented immigrants, and a lot of undocumented immigrants went back home willingly because COVID was happening. And like this is the kind of thing where the people who represent those farmers, who represent those
With
corporations,
Otro, now with subscription.
are directly opposed to this kind of indiscriminate deportation. So I think that what we're going to see here, and I am very grateful for this conversation, specifically because it does make clear that, you know, there are going to be, you know, some pretty significant barriers and pushback on trying to implement a national system of deporting all 11 million undocumented people. And I think the reality is the deportations are going to increase, but not to the point where it's all undocumented immigrants. It's not going to be to the point where it is necessarily colossal. At least that's my hope, having now learned more about these obstacles. Yeah, Ron DeSantis tried this, and there were food shortages. Yeah, exactly. You know? Also, very knifey doc, thank you for gifting with Otro a sub. That's very kind of you.
People with Homan's pre-existing apparatus to satiate them, do you think?
I don't think so, because right now there are a number of very key bottlenecks in the system, and the biggest one is the immigration courts. There are 3.7 million cases pending in the immigration courts right now, 3.7 million. There are 735 judges total hearing those cases. There's about 5,000 cases per judge on average.
Yeah.
And these delays.
This is why we need money to actually hire more immigration judges. It's insane.
Take years. And the way our legal system works for immigration
Oh
courts
God,
is that
Melanie,
if a
I'm sorry.
person gets picked up for the first time, generally speaking, it is picked up in the interior in particular, not applying to migrants at the border, but people picked up in the interior generally have to go through immigration court. So anyone arrested on January 22nd, if they've never been deported.
Salmon Moose.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. Bee, 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 bee.
But you know what? It does, and it's glorious. And then it goes around fucking plants all day. What a glorious little creature.
Reported before may not see a judge for 6 months to a year, and they might not get a final hearing on their case until after Trump has left office again. And not to mention, we are still on a continuing resolution using fiscal year 2024 funding, and talk is that Congress isn't going to actually pass a fiscal 25 funding bill until 2025.
Yeah, so this is another saving grace here, that in order to get the funding to actually try to even get to the point where they can do a massive expansion of deportation as a system, you need to pass a new budget, which is going to happen until 2025, which is an excellent point. I think that this does make sense to me. And Forlorn 79, I fucking understand that it could be a lot worse than this. But I think some people need to realize that there are some, however small, however maybe easily overcome, there are some roadblocks here, that it can't just happen like a Thanos snap. Which is what, frankly, a lot of people thought. And I want to dispel that notion, because it can't and doesn't work like that. Now, if you want to say, well, he's just going to like go full dictator mode day one, I mean, okay, I guess we'll find out in like a month or two. But I don't think it's particularly helpful to try and make everyone panic when like the information we have doesn't fully back that up.
It's not until March of 2025. So it might be 2 months into the administration before they even get the money to start the process of ramping up capacity. Now, yes, they can pull funds from other parts of DHS, but in order to ramp up the capacity we're talking billions of dollars, and it's not clear if they have that money without Congress. So there's a real possibility that we see a frustrated president.
I will say that, guys, I don't know shit about our immigration system. This guy's full-time job is to know shit about the immigration system. And all I'm trying to say is that, like,
Barry Benson.
it's nice to
Barry
know there are
is
some
picking out a
roadblocks.
shirt. Yellow, black. Yellow, black. Yellow, black. Yellow, black. Ooh, black and yellow.
What
Let's
is
shake it up a
this?
little. BBBBWA.
I feel like I have no. I feel like I'm not in on the meme joke. But thank you for the $10 dono. Is that from the B movie? Is that like the opening line of the B movie? Wow, Jerry Seinfeld is such a comedic genius. Only he could have come up with Unfrosted. Also, Salmon Moose, thank you for the 10 gifted tier 1 subs. You are incredibly kind. It is B movie? Okay.
Trump, a year from now.
I bet you guys can't get through with text to speech reading the entire text of the B movie. You guys can't do that.
Saying, why aren't these numbers higher? And I think remind people that there were 5 separate secretaries of the Department of Homeland Security in Trump's first term in office, in part because he frequently got frustrated with people who would tell him things like, no, actually, we can't just flip a switch and turn migration off overnight.
So with all of that, I mean, is there any way for them to short circuit that process? In other words, can they say, I mean, I guess maybe there would be a statutory change, like that if there is reason to suspect that you're undocumented and you're in this country, then you don't get a trial.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, that is a real concern because right now, everything that I've been saying presumes that there are not major changes to the law by Congress. I think if the filibuster holds, which is still an open question, it would be unlikely for major changes to get through Congress, but there is reconciliation. There are potential avenues for deals with Democrats, potentially some sort of harsher enforcement for Dreamers that could potentially change the way the system works. Then, however, you would still have issues with costs for detention, arrests, and some issues around actually removing people to countries that won't take them. But there's 2 other ways that the administration can beef up numbers. One is their plan for the so-called Alien Enemies Act, a wartime authority that it's last used during World War II.
Yeah, this is where we start getting into like extraordinarily awful territory.
Janet Benson. Barry, breakfast is ready.
No.
Barry, coming.
No,
Hang on a second. Barry uses his antenna like a phone. Hello? Adam FLAYMAN. Through phone, Barry? Barry. Adam?
Oh no. Oh no. Serious political channel. Salmon Moose, thank you for the 2 gifted tier 1 subs. Paladin, thank you for the $5 dono. And thank you for furthering the B movie. I haven't actually seen the B movie, so this will be my first time seeing it, I guess, in a sense.
And the Alien Enemies Act short circuits the immigration court system. It's entirely separate, and essentially the U.S. government orders you to leave, and you have a reasonable period of time to get your affairs in order, then you have to go. So that's one option, though I think that faces significant challenges in court. The other is that there's actually hundreds of thousands of people in the country who have already been through the immigration court process and have already been ordered deported. There's 1.3 million in total. It's unclear how many of these are people the U.S. government knows where they are. Many are people who simply missed court years ago. But there are others who are checking in with ICE right now. They have stays of removal. They've been allowed to stay for the time being. And ICE is going to start revoking those immediately. And in this situation, they can tell people to come check in, arrest them.
Oh, Big
Receive
Roy.
a gift sub from a lovely user on here, paying it forward.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Yeah, like, basically, guys, I think you can at this point kind of see where this is going. You know, the Trump administration is probably going to go after people that they already know their locations, that they know aren't terribly prone to crime, and
Adam,
are willing to
Can you
come in
believe this
peacefully.
is happening? Very. I can't. I'll pick you up. Very flies down the stairs. Martin Benson, looking sharp. Janet, use the stairs. Your father paid good money for.
Is Barry the Jerry Seinfeld character? Was he as like a 50-year-old man playing like a young 20-something bee? Is that what was happening in that film? Renee Hill, thank you for becoming a member on YouTube. Oh man, that's super weird. A college-aged bee? Man, the logistics of this world already boggle my mind. Okay, a bee that romances a human lady? That doesn't sound right.
My favorite part of B movie was when Barry B. Benson yelled, "It's hiving time," and proceeded to hive all over those guys. Did I do this right? BWA?
No. Jesus Christ.
Very. Sorry. I'm excited. Martin, here's the graduate. We're very proud of you, son. A perfect report card, all B's. Janet, very proud. Rubs Barry's hair.
His hair? Do bees have hair? Is that technically hair on a bee? Like, do they have hair follicles? They have fuzz, but is it hair? Also, like, I'm sorry, was Jerry Seinfeld a fully grown adult man playing a fresh out of high school bee? Because he's a graduate. Did he just graduate college, or did he just graduate high school? It's really important because I wanna. He's more out of college. Yes, that's what happened. I'm just wondering how closely this movie parallels real life, where Jerry Seinfeld, a grown-ass 30-something-year-old man, dated a high school teenager. Okay, we've gone too far afield. We've gone too far afield. Anyway, I don't know how usable this entire section is going to be as like a standalone segment, but yeah, no, what the Trump administration is trying to plan to do here seems to me like they want to make privatized concentration camps, which is obviously really bad. The question is kind of like how big, to what extent this is going to exist. So I don't know. I'm interested to learn more.
And to check in and have them on a plane 48 hours later.
So
we saw this the first time around, and they're going to do it again the second time.
That's sort of the low-hanging fruit. That's when
I'm sorry, Barry has completed 3 levels of education during his school career. He spent 3 days in grad school, 3 days in high school, and 3 days in college, which is the highest degree of education a bee can achieve. So, just to be clear, he plays a character who, as a 9-day-old
Somebody
character...
once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb.
God.
In the shape of an
Oh
L
my
on
God.
her forehead. Well, the
They
years
don't
start
stop
coming and they
and
don't
stop coming.
Wait, wrong movie.
Florence, thank you for the $10 super chat. But so bees have a short lifespan. He's 9 days old and he seduced a fully grown adult woman? Or should I say a fully grown adult woman took advantage of a 9-day-old bee? You know, it seems kind of like he's just reenacting what he did, but in reverse.
They were, you know.
Oh my god! Renee Hill, thank you for the 20 Riverboat Jack memberships over on YouTube. That is incredibly generous of you. Good golly. Thank you so much. The B movie plot is actually a reverse. Barry is 9 days old, but Vanessa dropped out of college and became a florist. Oh, man. I go off to take a shower. What are we doing? We're getting derailed by people posting text-to-speech clips of the B movie. Barry has a bee owner for the human. I don't think that bees have those. You could say she honeypot. Oh man, guys. Oh man, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Biver boat back. Bee segs. Jack severely underestimates Barry's. You know, it's so much more problematic when you're putting it in terms of a 9-day-old seducing a 30-year-old woman. You know, the gap in experience is pretty alarming. Pretty problematic. I'm never disappointed coming here. I you know, sometimes I am. I mean, that's his job, though, if he sees her as his queen. Did they have sex? Wait, did they canonically have sex with each other? How? How? Paladin, thank you for the $5 dono, but how? I'm getting very conflicting reports from chat about whether or not this happened. The donkey and the dragon at least somewhat make sense logistically. You know, even if I don't like that. But the bee and a human, that doesn't make sense. Are you seriously asking us to explain the birds and... No, I'm asking you to explain the broads and the bees to me. That's what I'm asking you to explain to me right now. Can't confirm he's my cousin. I've seen visual evidence. It's on Rule 34 sites, but it's visual evidence. Oh boy. Oh god. Love is love. No, no. This is the slippery slope that Republicans have been warning us about. You know, science was so preoccupied with whether we could do it. We never asked whether we should do it. Hey, Metal Kitty Mom, you've entered into chat at a very weird time, to say the least. How do we even get here? Paladin and tomfoolery. That's how we got here. Paladin foolery. Barry has a master's degree in pollination. What? I, I'm so.
But
I'm
the question everyone wants to know, did Barry dip his stinger into her?
I want him to pollinate me. No, Bastion, no.
Barry has a master's degree in pollination. It took him 3 days to earn, but he has one. Don't question Barry's skills.
I have so many questions, though. I have so many questions. I'm dying. We did this to your generation. We thought it was a joke. And here we are. Talking about B-segs. It's a third of his life getting a bachelor's degree. It is kind of what it feels like.
Came for the politics. Stayed for the odd convo about bees. Oh lord, I am dying of laughter. Lol.
Tips for the 10 gifted tier 1 subs. The politics are good. I promise. I have good thoughts and opinions on politics. Yeah, segment officially sidelined. Oh my god. Oh god. Do you guys want to know like a fun a small fact about my life that is somewhat related to this entire question? So, you know, I have a degree in English literature, and I dabbled in writing, creative writing, etc. And one of my backup plans, if everything in my life is the story that I fucked a bee, no, it's not. No! Why are so many of you asking me if I fucked a bee? Jesus. No. I told myself if everything goes, it's hip to fuck bees? No! I planned to write smut for the very niche community of people who want bug sex. I thought this is an untapped market that people would appreciate high level, well written, creative fiction about various bugs being sexy. And you know, one of the stories that I threw out there as an idea was Heracles, which is the story of Achilles, obviously, but if he was a sexy arachnid. And so that was one of the ideas that I came up with if everything in my life went to shit.
I nominate Riverboat Jack to play the love interest in the Bee Movie live-action remake.
Florence, I'm really honored. Wait, what is the live action? Wait, what does the Bee Movie love interest look like? What does the Bee Movie cradle robber look like? Let's see here. You know, I might be able to. You know, I might be able to pull that off. Maybe. Nah, probably not. No. Yeah, I mean, I could get a bob. I could wear a terrible necklace. I could do that. I could take it for the team. He's an adult for a bee. She's been alive. Guys, to put it into perspective, she's been alive like 10,000 times the amount of time he has been alive. Okay? It's not okay. It's not okay. That's how my bee brain works.
For 50 subs, Jack will write and read an original work of fanfiction. Barry Benson X Tucker Carlson.
Oh my god.
Tucker's Honeypot. B.
I mean, I think for 100
BWA.
subs, 100 subs, I will write and read Barry Benson X Tucker Carlson. Though I would actually have to watch the B movie. Oh my god. Oh my god. Too many of you are acting as if you're gonna give me money to do that. Please stop. Please stop. Oh god. I have an idea for the next movie night.
I spend a lot of time here, considering it's B-grade content.
All right, fine. I will write 1,000 words. I will write 1,000 words.
Wait, how did we get through that entire derail without a single mention of that scene from the remake of The Wicker Man?
Not the bees. There we go. This is my price. The price of my craft. Okay?
She's way older than him. Barry is a baby compared to her.
No, fuck off. Jesus Christ. The baby. The baby. Has anyone seen the original Wicker Man? Yeah, it slaps. It's good. OG Wicker Man is wonderful. It's a wonderful little weirdo film. Also, the original Wicker Man just has, like, the main character very clearly, like, knowing he needs to get out of Dodge. Oh god, you guys are gonna make me do this, aren't
Be
you?
the fanfiction, and the change you want to see in this world.
God damn it. God damn it.
Do you question vampire, human romances too? How about when the vampire does the do with their fledgling?
Wait, yes!
How do you feel about Lestat, Lewis?
I haven't seen Interview with the Vampire, so I'm not familiar with that one, but absolutely, it's super weird that Robert Pattinson vampire, hooks up with actual teenager. He's like 80 years old and he's going to high school. That's kind of fucked up. You let us make you say farts for 20 minutes once? How do you not understand how non-zero and the non-zero... Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Oh my god. Robert Pattinson is 107? Okay, yeah. I don't care if he looks like a child. He's a goddamn adult man. I don't know how old Twilight characters are. I just know vampires should date someone their own age. Or at the very least, make someone else a vampire and then wait a few centuries. At least that it will become, like, a little bit parody here. My god. I'm here for chat breaking Jack with B movie.
This happening. Believe.
Oh, no. No. No, don't stop with the puns. Do you know the Monty Python song, Eric the Half?
We all know you're just winging it, Jack. None of us expect you to behave yourself. Let yourself believe in your skills.
You guys finally allowing me to spread my wings and embrace what I always have been running from my entire life. My final backup option. Oh my god. No. Renee Hill, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships on YouTube. Damn it. Oh, God.
Fanfic idea. Barry Benson x Macaulay Culkin from My Girl. The fanfic is like 10 words long. BWA.
The fanfic is like 10 words. What? I don't.
All this talk of bees now
what?
has the Aqua song Bumblebee going through my head, but I guess this is what to expect when talking about politics.
God damn it, Spherical Man, it's so good. Also, I just got your joke, Paladin. I just got it. I forgot about the ending of My Girl. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Oh, God. I see Fat Chat's weakness. It's the bees knees. Stop! Stop! How dare you? What about elves? Can a human and an elf not be in love? I think it's also really problematic. I think elves in fiction should be way more fucked up than they are, okay? Someone as old as her, as she is to the bee, would have to be 36,000 years old. Jesus Christ. I don't like that. I don't like that. The math is bad. Guys. Blueberry Bumblebee, thank you for subscribing. Paladin, thank you for the 3 gifted tier 1 subs. Oh god. What a night to not have an edible. Oh god. We can't all be positive about these pairings. The vibes are coming from inside the hive. Guys, you're gonna make me pop like a vein, just start spurting blood all over the place. I'm gonna need a blood transfusion. They're only gonna be positive. Make a person want to fly a CB. Oh my god. Elves are hot and I would do anything for one. Okay, but hear me out, okay? I think there's a difference between like dating a 160-year-old if you're like a 50-year-old and like, you know, they just age very slowly. I think that's very different as opposed to like, yeah, I just never age and I'm, you know, 200 years old and I'm going to date this high schooler. I mean, I think, look, dating Logan's fine. He's like a normal person for the most part. I think it'd be hard to date a lot of members of the X-Men, though. Which kind of elf? That's a great question. There are many kinds of elves. Some of them are cannibals. Would you date a cannibal elf that wants to eat your brain to absorb your experiences? I don't know that I would. Because I'm a coward. Logan's not normal? Sure he is. He's just better at healing his cuts. Paladin, thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Oh god. You guys are gonna make me write this erotic fanfiction between Barry Benson and Tucker Carlson, aren't you? Would you date Firen? No, probably not. I don't think she would want to date me. Like, yeah, no. I think she would be very opposed. Not all elves, Jack.
Female
Not
minor bees
well, yeah,
can live
not
for
all
up to 6
elves.
weeks, but the drones will only live for as little as 2 weeks. Bumblebees and Africanized honeybee workers could live as long as a month.
That is not very long. That is not very long, guys. Oh my god. What, Jazz Dog? Okay, guys, Jazz Dog has upped the ante, which is if you guys manage to hit 200 subs this stream.
So I just logged into stream. What's the buzz?
Jazz Dog will turn the fanfic I write into a love ballad, and I don't know how to feel about that.
At Ems Milena, I didn't know I wanted it until I came up with the idea. And now I can't be without it.
Oh my god.
This is Sven the diplomatic armadillo. I am here for the yeehaw and buzz buzz.
What the fuck does that mean?
We just want to give you this opportunity to be your authentic self, Jack.
I can finally live my dreams. My dreams of being a smut slinger. Oh god. Holy shit. Have you seen Sabretooth / Victor? I don't know who Victor is. I don't... Logan's hot, yeah. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Live your truth, queen. It's not my truth. I shared that with you guys in a moment of candor. And look at you. Now Chad is hitting epic combos? Was the secret to my success all along just talking about my long-forgotten not dream of writing Oracules, the heroic epic, with steamy sex scenes? I guess I needed to tell you all about this sooner. I didn't know. Victor is Logan's half-brother. Wait, is that just Sabretooth's name? Also, which one is the bee in this fanfic? Barry Benson. Barry is the bee. Tucker Carlson is a fully grown adult human man. With a penchant for using UV light on his balls. Just hope you don't bumble through the fanfiction. Boo! Will there be pictures / art? I do not have those skills. And I cannot commit to there being any art. All I can commit to is writing you filthy, filthy smut about intense, intimate love making between a bee fresh out of college with a master's in pollination and a fully grown adult man who likes to show his junk to UV lights out in the wild wilderness. Okay, and the romance that blossoms between them after one fateful day. Barry mistakes a new flower in the wild for no, he mistakes Tucker Carlson's hee-haw for a new flower he's never seen before. Anyway, that's just a preview. A sexy preview. 300 subs and it becomes a playable visual novel game. No. Don't commit to that. Don't give that to the people. Oh god. So Tucker Carlson is into butthole sunning? Yeah, we did a whole stream about it like a year and a half ago when he put together like a special about America's declining masculinity and talked about how UV light on the balls can reinvigorate your testosterone or whatever. You're kidding? Nope. That happened. Calling it that Barry B is topping Tucker? Well, obviously. Do you think he would bottom?
Cool idea. Barry B. Benson x Guy Fieri. Triple B versus Triple D. Dildos. Dabblers. And B. Dongs.
Well, okay, but I've heard that Guy Fieri's nice. I've heard that he's a nice guy. I wouldn't want to do that to Guy Fieri. Barry might, but I don't. Oh no. You guys are getting way too close. He's a right-winger, isn't he? The last I heard of Guy Fieri is that he cooks food for people in disaster zones, which I thought was nice. Pat Benatar? No. I'd sooner try blood magic than sun my non-existent femballs. Pretty sure he's a Trump supporter? Well, that's really disappointing. Good night, Robert Adset. I look forward to the buzz of anticipation. God damn it. God damn it, guys. Wait, Guy Fieri officiates gay weddings in honor of his late sister? That sounds good. That sounds nice. Are you guys making assumptions about him because he has wacky hair and a very distinctive visual flair? People are complicated. Bees are simple. Bees just want one thing, and it's disgusting. Hey, tiramisu. Guy Fieri is also the Antichrist? Tell me more. Bees just want MILFs? Also, again, you know, I do have to emphasize that I only looked up what I need to I need to like put this
Be
into
your mind, and your asterisk 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 will follow. Bees are colorblind, and their sting is shallow.
Wait, are they actually colorblind? Anyway, I looked up B-movie cradle robber in Google image search in order to find the image of the lady that's in B-movie, because again, never seen this movie before. But what's going on? What is this movie? This looks like it was made in like an AI generator, and I don't really know. That's Sting? I'm sorry. That's Sting in the B movie? Okay. Okay. All right. Fine. Fine. Nothing matters anymore. Nothing matters. God damn it. Also, again, this is not a real movie. This is not a real movie. Why is this elderly man in like an adult sized baby carriage? It's part of the trial. Why is there a trial? Why is he going to court? Who's suing a bee? Wait, is the bee a lawyer? He looks like he's being a lawyer. Is this My Cousin Vinny, but if Vinny was a bee?
Jack's brain melting live on stream.
He's trying to unionize bees. Why is he in a courtroom? I'm so confused and belligerently angry about this. They're trying to nationalize their resources. What nation? What kinds of bees? Are all bees like this? Because reasons? The great bee nation? Barry is suing humanity for stealing all the bees' honey. I don't think you can sue humanity at large. I don't think that's how courtrooms work. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think that's how it works, guys. You're thinking way too hard about this. How can you not think about this? If anything, he should be suing like Purdue Pharmaceuticals or whoever makes Roundup for the mass genocide of bees. That makes way more sense. Watch, Legal Eagle did a video on the court scene from this movie.
When Jack is in times of trouble, sometimes she comes to me, seeking words of wisdom. Go and be.
Monsanto.
Go and be. Go and be. Go and be. Oh, go and be. There will be a fanfic. Go and be.
I'm so upset right now with all I'm learning about this B-movie nonsense. What is a charismatic bee wants to make honey great again? In Springfield, humans are eating our honey. Project 2020 Hive. I'm about to start handing out bans for these puns. There's also bee racism and bee discrimination. How? I'm... Oh my god. I'm stung by the sudden turn of events. Wait, this is on par with the I fucking hate Minions girl? Wait, but I do hate Minions. Minions are terrible. I dislike them a lot. They were funny in exactly one movie, and that was Despicable Me, the first one. By the time we get to Despicable Me 7, they're not funny anymore. I thought for sure you had already ascended into this hell on your I hate Seinfeld arc. No! I haven't. I got distracted because it was election season, so I put on pause the Seinfeld deep dive.
Chat. 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 Listen. Chat. Listen. We have to tone down the puns. Beehive yourselves.
Beehive. Oh, Beehive. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. I see it. I see it. Comedy comes in 3s and 23s. It's funny 3 times in a row, then not funny again until the 23rd time. Just wait until Minions will get funny again. They won't! You know that! The Minions are like the film equivalent of chlamydia. They're not going anywhere. Our B-caps. I'm poor, but I like the stream. You deserve more attention. Thank you for liking the stream. I haven't even asked people to hit the follow button or the like button or the subscribe button, but you should hit those buttons. Usually I'm talking about politics, but this is... Also, is Sting wearing a dress? Also, why does Sting have like a collar gap but in a dress or a smock, whatever Sting is wearing here? Why is there so much space between his outfit and his skin? Why?
Chat, chat, chat. Listen, chat, listen. She's being real about banning people for the puns. She means bee's nest.
Shit. I'm losing it, bro. Because Fabric Sim is hard. Okay, fair. I'll take the L. That's fine. There's plenty of potential in the B movie. What's your stance on Daniel Larson? I don't know who that is. This honey is fucking raw. How come they didn't do... Fuck! How come they didn't continue making B movies? Alright. We did it. We did it, everybody. And now if you hit 200 subs, Jazz Dog committed to making a sexy love ballad about a bee and Tucker Carlson. Yeah, it's time for you to make... I mean, I'm gonna do the fanfic. I'm gonna do the fanfic. I'm not gonna write it right now. I'll get it done for next stream, though. God damn it. God damn it. Because back in the early 90s, it was fun to make fun of Sting being thought of as a liberal hippie in his late career. But didn't the B movie come out in like 2012? Was that a quote from Gordon Ramsby? Get out. Get right out. Okay. Man, this is gonna be really hard to explain to my partner tomorrow. This is gonna be real hard to explain to my partner why I need to write a sexy fanfic about a bee and Tucker Carlson having sex. I'm starting to think the B movie isn't very good, guys. Yeah, you know? I can't help but notice, though, that you guys did give up the mission of posting the entire script of the B movie in text-to-speech, which I'm glad, because now I could go watch B movie, I guess. Completely unspoiled. Oh, God. Text to beach. Yeah, I'm just gonna beach and moan. Morbi time? Well, we have to watch it now in Morbi time. Oh my God. I'm really just trying to take in the idea that I have to write sexy prose. Like quivering abdomen. Gonna have to look up bee anatomy. You guys don't know what you've done. You guys don't know what you've done. Text is cut off. Oh, here we go. Burp. Burp. Fuck. I don't know if you guys can tell when I hit the puns in your text-to-speech comments before they're read out by text-to-speech, but I feel like it's very visually obvious. Yeah, the quivering thorax. Tucker has a taint. Barry has a stinger. You guys are too conventional. You need to get worse with it. You need to get down and dirty with it. What happens at 200? At 200, community member Jazz Dog has committed to turning my written fanfic into a love ballad. Oh, true. I do need to make sure it is both sexy and tasteful because I'm going to be reading it out loud. That's true. Thank you for that catch, Archangel Decab. I'll need to make sure that it's classy sexy and not like...
This is the greatest derail that has even been or ever will be. I'm so proud of you, chat. Hugs to Salmon Moose.
Indeed. Indeed. Holy
Chat, it's
fuck.
cold and wet and rainy outside. You should all come over to the GG site where it's swarm. BWA. In the bee movie, all the bees have stingers, even though that's not true for real bees. I don't want you getting too befuddled about that detail.
I've had a huge smile on my face this whole time ever since Riverboat Jack challenged chat about B-movie script. It's been the best stun lock I've ever seen. I don't really know how to move out of this. I'm not gonna lie. I got no exit strategy here. Oh god. It makes me want to... Oh god. Alex Jones can provide you an out, I think? Maybe. The exit strategy is watching the entire B movie. I can't do that on stream. Wait, can I? I know the B movie's just like been posted to death. There's no way I can watch the entire B movie on stream. There's no way. I'm very happy with our current queen, except that she has expanded her drone program. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. See if it's on Internet Archive. If it's on there, you could watch it. That is absolutely not how that works, but it's very cute of you to put that idea out there. Oh my god. I should go to Wildest Africa and document the life cycle of the flying wildebeest. Hold on. Yeah, no, very knifey duck. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about it. Okay. Maybe Alex Jones is the out of this segment. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, guys, something incredible happened today. Something incredible happened today, all right? We're just gonna make this small. We're gonna make it smaller. There we go. Boop. Do you like the Great Gatsby? Are we though? You know, I thought we might.
Add this prime to the sub count.
Crystal Hazer, thank you for the prime. Oh god. All subs will continue to go to this goal. You guys already got the main one. If you want a song about it, that's another 200 subs, okay? That's on you guys. So guys, actual real news that I assumed was fake until I looked into it. The Onion bought Alex Jones InfoWars. The Onion, the epitome of online satire, bought Alex Jones InfoWars, and it's honestly one of the funniest stories of the day. It's so good. And they did it with the blessing of the Sandy Hook families, which is even better. Yeah, backed by families of Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victims whom Jones owes more than $1 billion in defamation judgments for calling the massacre a hoax. The purchase would turn over Jones' company, which for decades has peddled in conspiracy and misinformation, to a humor website that plans to relaunch the InfoWars platform in January as a parody. Which honestly is incredible, dog. Also, I really want to find the Onion InfoWars. Yeah, here we go. Here's why I decided to buy InfoWars. By Bryce P. Tetraeder, Global Tetrahedron CEO. Today we celebrate a new addition to the Global Tetrahedron LLC family of brands. And let me say, I really do see it as a family. Much like family members, our brands are abstract nodes of wealth, interchangeable assets for their patriarch to absorb and discard according to the opaque whims of the market. And just like family members, our brands regard one another with mutual suspicion and malice. Which is honestly one of the greatest introductions. One of the greatest introductions to any kind of anything. All told, the decision to acquire InfoWars was an easy one for the Global Tetrahedron Executive Board. Founded in 1999 on the heels of the Satanic Panic, and growing steadily ever since, InfoWars has distinguished itself as an invaluable tool for brainwashing and controlling the masses. With a shrewd mix of delusional paranoia and dubious anti-aging nutrition hacks, they strive to make life both scarier and longer for everyone, a commendable goal. They are a true unicorn, capable of simultaneously inspiring public support for billionaires and stoking outrage at an inept federal state that can assassinate JFK, but can't even put a man on the moon. It's so good! It's so good! Through it all, InfoWars has shown an unswerving commitment to manufacturing anger and radicalizing the most vulnerable members of society, values that resonate deeply with all of us at Global Tetrahedron. No price would be too high for such a cornucopia of malleable assets and minds, and yet, in a stroke of good fortune, a formidable special interest group has outwitted the hapless owner of InfoWars, a forgettable man with an already forgotten name, and forced him to sell it at a steep bargain, less than $1 trillion. Make no mistake, this is a coup for our company and a well-deserved victory for multinational elites the world over. What's next for InfoWars remains a live issue. The excess funds initially allocated for the purchase will be reinvested into our philanthropic efforts that include business school scholarships for promising cult leaders, a charity that donates elections to at-risk third-world dictators, and a new pro bono program pairing orphans with stable factory jobs at no cost to the factories. As for the vitamins and supplements, we are halting their sale immediately. Utilitarian logic dictates that if we can extend even one CEO's life by 10 minutes, diluting these miracle elixirs for public consumption is an unethical waste. Instead, we plan to collect the entire stock of the InfoWars warehouse into a large vat and boil the contents down into a single candy bar-sized omnivitamin that one executive, I will not name names, may eat in order to increase his power and perhaps become immortal. All will be revealed in due time. For now, let's enjoy this win and toast to the continued consolidation of power and capital. Infinite growth forever, Bryce P. Tetraeder, Global Tetrahedron CEO. Which is one of the... It's gonna be so good, guys. Just look at this incredible asset they made for it. Oh yeah, by the way, excellent plug, GamerG. We did interview a guy who worked at the public access station that Alex Jones got his start at. It was pretty fascinating. You all should check it out. It's over on the YouTube channel. And yeah, it's pretty funny, especially the reporting on this.
Coverage of break. The Onion is a satirical site. It manages to persuade people to believe itself as the, quote, world's leading news publication, offering highly acclaimed, universally revered coverage of breaking international and local news events. It has 4.3 trillion daily readers. Jones has been saying on his show that if his detractors bought InfoWars, he would move his daily broadcasts and product sales to a new studio.
I like a lot that they just straight up read the Onion statements about itself. It's actually 5 trillion now ever since they acquired InfoWars. This isn't even part of the bit. This is just Fox News being bad at its job. Which I know is, we're just reiterating it. Man, I love Global Tetrahedron. Can I have my family back now? Oh, God. Also, did someone say there's a video of him freaking out because a satire website bought it? Because I really want to see Alex Jones have a complete and utter meltdown over... Archangel, can you post that again? Because I want to see Alex Jones have a complete meltdown. I haven't seen that yet. I didn't know that existed. Hey, Story Girl. This is incredible. This stream is wonderful. And I love all of you. Fox News quoted Onion's trillions of readers. Yeah, trillions of readers, as noted by official publication of right-wing media, Fox News. Oh, God. Schmegle. Hello. That was a new high for Fox News, fact-checking. I'm kind of proud for them. Holy moly. I hope they get Fox next. That would be so wonderful. Let's see here. I'm wondering if you posted it. Check good news. Excellent. I love the good news section of the Discord. The good news only Discord.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:50 right now. I'm about to upload this to X. I just got word 15 minutes ago that my lawyers and folks met with the U.S. trustee over our bankruptcy this morning, and they said they're shutting us down even without a court order. This morning, the Connecticut Democrats with the Onion newspaper bought us. They asked, did they outbid? They said, well, it was competitive. So they changed all the bidding rules, made it secret 2 days ago. I had a bad feeling. I told you that. Just like they tried to shut us down back in late May without a court order. They're supposed to have a court order. There's going to be injunctions filed. I'm about to go live out of Harrison.
Man, he does not look good.
What's going to happen?
He does not look good with the facial hair, man. He's he's having his like his midlife like wife left me soul patch has grown way out of hand.
But I'm going to be here until they come in here and turn the lights off. I'm going to say, where's your court order? So this is all going down right now. They want to silence the American people.
I'm gonna be in here huddling like a I don't know, itinerant traveler, and they're gonna have to shoo me out with sticks before I go, like a 1920s train hopper. Like what are you trying to do here, man? You've got nothing.
but we're not going to be silenced. Be sure and follow me at the Alex Jones Network at AJN Live on X right now. They're filed in court to take real Alex Jones away. That's totally unconstitutional. The judge already said no, so they filed in other courts. So the live feed going up by the time you see this at AJN Live and at Real Alex Jones right now. Share this everywhere. This is a total attack on free speech. The deep state is completely out of control. The private security hasn't even been told all this yet. They try to tell them.
Man, it must really suck for Alex Jones to be taken down right before Donald Trump comes to power. You know, right before someone could really step in and maybe help him out here. But I don't think anyone would come even in that case, frankly. I think he's burned a lot of bridges.
And last time, the other U.S. trustee to shut us down on the court order, these folks said no. So this is all happening right now. This is the tyranny of the New World Order, desperate to silence the American people. The mandate of Trump against all the lawfare, they don't care. So the system still thinks it's in charge. I'm going live right now from what probably will be the last transmission from this building. God bless you all for your support. Please support our sponsors so we get funds to stay on the air at the Alex Jones Network, thealexjonestore.com. Take action. I need your support. InfoWars is really the detonator for this whole global movement that's happening. Your support did that. You're the reason it's happening. You are the resistance. God bless and good luck.
Yes, please, please continue hyping up InfoWars, man. Continue. It's so good. It's so good. Everyone should go check out InfoWars, especially when it's officially and legally under control of The Onion. Could never, stop singing the praises of InfoWars since it got bought by The Onion. This guy licked frogs and implied it turned him gay. JK, I know that's not what happened. Honestly, his life would probably be better for it if that was the case. If that was actually his origin story, I bet Alex Jones would be a lot happier. The Alex Jones down by the river arc will be entertaining. It really will. It really will. He will still be insufferable, but in a quieter way. Alex Jones is mostly whiskey and gay frogs. This is true. This is known. Amazing stuff happening in the realm of online news media. God. Okay, here is another little thing, okay? I know we've talked about it a lot, right? We've talked about it a lot, how this fascistic movement that Donald Trump is kind of presiding over is completely without substance, and that, frankly, people within it are just going on vibes. And I saw an interview drop today from Fox News, and it was between Jesse Waters and some actress, I don't remember what her name is, Justine Bateman. And it really kind of hammers home exactly how without substance this entire MAGA movement is. It is that there's nothing in there, and I think you'll understand what I mean.
What I'm really excited about is that the political correctness, the sort of woke era is over, because you need mob mentality momentum in order to keep that going, in order to threaten people if they're not thinking and talking the way you do, to threaten their lives, threaten their careers, threaten their place in society.
Okay, just real quick. I understand eye makeup is hard, but girl, what are you doing?
You need that momentum in order to do that. And when Trump won presidency again, that cut that momentum off. So this whole woke era is over.
you're right. I mean, they only are effective when they work in perfect harmony together. And now they're all divided.
Ah, yes, the left. They lived in perfect harmony. The different nations of leftism, you know, the socialist nation and the corpo dem nation and the classical liberal nation all lived in harmony until the MAGA nation attacked.
And arguing with each other, and they're not on offense. They're canceling each other.
Yeah. Leftists would never do that. Go online and cancel each other.
And that's probably a good thing. Is it really official? You believe it's official? We're never going back to cancel culture. We're never going back to political correctness. You're calling it right here?
Well, I'm saying you need that.
Prove it. Prove it. Drop a slur. Prove it. If cancel culture's over, drop a slur. Do it. You won't.
I mean, when you look at mob mentality and the things that have happened, like the tulip mania hundreds of years ago, the burning of the witches in Salem.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You need that.
Calling it right here?
Well, I'm saying you need that. I mean, when you look at mob mentality and the things that have happened, like the tulip mania.
Tulip mania wasn't mob mentality. Tulip mania was literally proto-capitalism. It's where like the idea for stock markets came from. That was not mob mentality. That was like speculation on flowers in a booming economy. Like if that is mob mentality, then I got bad news for you about Wall Street.
Hundreds of years ago, the burning of the witches in Salem. There needed to be a mob mentality momentum, and if you don't have that, it dies out. And
yeah, just remind me real quick. Between MAGA and like left-wing groups, which one literally put together a mob with pitchforks and torches? You know, refresh my memory on that one, because I seem to recall seem to recall something happening along those lines. I just can't really place it here. Yeah, I can't quite place who might have done that. Oh, these guys? They're leftists, probably. I mean, look at them with their woke mob mentality. Yeah, this is the woke mob? Oh, wait, no, these actually were conservatives turning out to defend Confederate statues in the name of MAGA politics. Oh, they were chanting, "Jews will not replace us in the blood and soil." Oh, they were Nazis. Oh, no, they were your guys. Huh. Weird.
I'm talking about, yes, things have changed politically, obviously, but it's spiritual. It's a spiritual shift. It started a little bit when Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X.
Notice how like she's just nothing she's talking about is like a real thing. She's like, yeah, there was a spiritual shift when Elon Musk bought X. Just the vibes of the entire country changed. He did some kind of sorcerous spell.
And it really changed when Donald Trump won this presidency. I can feel it, definitely.
I can feel it too. There's also
I just feel the vibes, man. I just feel the vibes.
an excitement.
Well, no, Stadman, it's not that she's living in an unreality. It's just that everyone in that movement is living in an unreality. Yeah, Jesse Waters like is just like, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I feel it too. I feel it in my heart of hearts. Is that what's her name? That is what's her name.
And I don't know whether it's about the decisive victory or if it's about the way
It's Jason Bateman's older sister.
he's rolling out these cabinet officials. There's a promise in the air where people are expecting.
Jesse, what is this hand acting you're doing? There's a promise in the air where the people are expecting us to perform.
Major change, and you're kind of on the edge of your seat because you don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, but people expect.
Can I, again, the reason I wanted to show you guys this clip, like it's honestly, every moment of this gives us something.
People are expecting major change, and you're kind of on the edge of your seat because you don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen.
People are expecting major change, but they don't know how or when or really any of the important details about it. They just, think it's going to happen, because of the vibes. We don't need any pesky empirical details about anything. We don't need that. We just know it's going to happen.
But people
the same way a small child knows Santa Claus is real.
Expect it to happen. Are you feeling that too?
Do you have that
For
vibe?
the last 4 years, very acutely, and I know it preceded these 4 years as well. But there's been kind of a
Oh, so you've had this vibe for the last 6 years? How long does the vibe last? Does the vibe last for a decade? 12 years? Approximately 45 minutes, maybe longer with the charger?
pressing down, and kind of limiting what people can say. And what happens too is you limit what can.
Hold on, what is she blinking in Morse code? Oh my god, guys, maybe that's why the makeup is bad. Maybe that's why the eye makeup is bad. She's in trouble. Her family is being held hostage. She's blinking SOS. Oh my god. We've cracked the code. Someone help her.
Even occur in society. And so there's been a stagnation. Things haven't been moving forward in the arts, in philosophy, in politics, in.
Oh yeah, man. Donald Trump in office are definitely going to accelerate art in a way that is going to be non-woke. Mm-hmm. I imagine Quentin Tarantino is going to come out of going to be like, hold up, I'm making another last movie, and it's just gonna be like the bloodiest film you've ever seen in your life. It's gonna be like Django Unchained, but set specifically in modern day America.
In medicine, in anything. And I don't mean technically did things, were there technological advances or anything like that. I mean innovation, like with your thoughts, with what is coming into your spirit from God, magic, the universe, whatever you want.
That's true. It's going to be a lot of blood, a little bit of feet, a lot of slurs.
Want to call it with that. I mean innovation, like with your thoughts, with what.
As opposed to innovation with not your thoughts. How people usually innovate. Thoughtlessly. She's describing magic, guys.
What is coming into your spirit from God, magic, the universe. What.
Oh, okay, wait, she literally did say magic. Never mind. I can't make fun of her when she's literally beyond parody.
Whatever you want to call it. That's been stagnated for at least 4 years. And now that's.
I love that she's like, yeah, God has been stagnating for 4 years because Joe Biden is president. What does that say about how weak your God is?
I will never understand how this level of clear lies became the thing people believe.
Right? And I mean, honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that there is, to a degree, like, a desire to believe in simple solutions to problems that individual people feel too small to tackle themselves. You know? That is, I think, one of the value propositions, because people don't necessarily understand these big problems that face them. They don't understand the invisible hand of the market and like how that makes things in the grocery store more expensive or less expensive, but more often more expensive. You know, they don't understand. And I think someone coming to them with an easy solution that like, oh, that group of people you think is kind of weird, they're actually responsible for all these things you don't like. That's an easy solution, and there's a, you know, or that's an easy answer, and it has an easy solution. And they don't know how to implement that solution, but they're willing to put someone into power who claims that they do know how to implement that solution, you know? It doesn't matter if it's a lie, as long as they can wrap their head around it. And, like, yeah, I mean, oh, witchy woman, exactly. They don't understand how tariffs are going to make things expensive for all of us, not the other guys. Exactly, right? But the simple value proposition, and I was talking with my mom about this today, the simple value proposition of the Trump campaign was essentially, hey, there's this magical thing called a tariff, and Donald Trump is going to put a tariff on everything, and that means we'll be able to cut all of your taxes, so you won't have to pay taxes, and we're going to make China pay all your taxes. And it doesn't matter that that's not how tariffs work, and it doesn't matter that that's not how any economic maneuver works. It just matters that the people he said that to believe it, you know? And there was no Democratic pushback on that, really, until like maybe a few days before the election, because Democratic strategists didn't really even think that people wouldn't at first blush understand how stupid a tariff as like a tax cut would be, right? And on the flip side of that, Kamala Harris did not have a simple value proposition for a lot of voters. She didn't. She had policy plans, but your average voter doesn't look at policy plans. They need a simple, intuitive economic message. And that can be like, hey, I'm going to make sure your kid and your dad and you can all get healthcare. That's something that that people understand. You know, or I'm going to raise your wages. That's something people understand. But when you don't come with an economic intuitive message like that, and also refuse to differentiate yourself from the guy who didn't get minimum wage increased like he said he was going to, that's a problem. Because at the end of the day, what ends up happening is the main message a lot of people take in is, oh, well, this Trump guy is saying he's going to get rid of my taxes, so I'm gonna go with that guy. And so, like, it just, you know, that's, I think, the main reason we are where we are. Democrats were too cowardly to actually put forward a bold economic plan that could be digestible, because they wanted to keep their big high-value donors. It's how Kamala Harris raised like over $1 billion in her short-lived campaign. You know, she was taking advice from her brother-in-law, a Wall Street executive who works, I believe, as the CFO for Uber. So, like, you know, that's where she got her economic policies from. That's where she took a lot of her campaign messaging from. And it's not surprising that the campaign messaging from the CFO or executive of Uber isn't resonating with working class voters. So, like, that's how we wind up with people just being like, yeah, the vibes are different, man, because that's all they got. All they got are like a very simple premise and some vibes.
changed, and that's what I'm really excited about. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
It's a brilliant observation, and I've noticed it too, that culture.
Is it a brilliant observation? Was any of this a brilliant observation? Because you literally, like, this has been a 3-minute long segment so far, and all that this woman has said is the vibes have shifted, and that's it.
Culture is stuck. They keep making repeats of every movie. Every TV show's a repeat. There's no creativity in Hollywood, in literature, in the arts. As you mentioned, you've noticed it more than anybody, I'm sure. But it's great to get those juices flowing again and get the spirits unbound. Justine, thank you so much for joining Jesse Watters Primetime. Great to see you again, and I'm glad it's a spiritual revolution.
Is it? Because I don't think it is. I think you just described vibes. It's spiritual in the same way like a crystal affecting the aura of the room is spiritual. Like, at the end of the day, this is not a spiritual revolution. This is just like, yeah, we think we like this guy. Thing happened that we liked happened. So, you know, everything's better now. The spiritual revolution. Come on now. God damn. Did you cover Jesse Watters not being invited? Not being uninvited from Thanksgiving by his mom? Is the double negative intended there? They want to play the spiritual stuff. Meanwhile, literally every pagan god is pissed right now at them and people like them according to pagan communities. I mean, at risk of sounding a bit crass, I don't think they care. And I don't really care either. Like, I don't know. I think it's worth mentioning that pagan communities are pissed off. I don't really know about the agency of pagan gods, but that's my 2 cents. If Jesse Watters wants to visit his mom, he needs to do it on the day after now. Why do they even have her on? She was on one popular Second Sting show 40 years ago. Because that's the kind of celebrities they get, you know? Well, no, yeah, Hydrogen. This is why I talk about the conspiracy singularity. Because once you latch onto, like, part of, like, this crystal mommy shit, this weird new age woo-woo shit, like it can suck you in. It can be a vector to bring you to basically every other conspiracy theory hot spot that exists. You know, whether it's flat Earth or reptilians or the moon landing was faked. Like a lot of these ideas all combine. Oh, Lady Ringcloud, I'm not saying all Wiccan folk are like this bitch. I'm not saying that. This bitch be crazy. I understand people who have, like, actual coherent religious beliefs. This lady clearly doesn't. She just described something as, I don't know, magic, God, vibes. You know, like, she doesn't even know what she's talking about. Yeah, Folding Ideas did a great video on that, Tiny Purple Fishes. I highly recommend everyone go watch the video searching for a flat Earth. It's good stuff. But, like, I really do think stuff like segments like this, which will probably be more and more common from conservative media, really emphasize, like, the lack of any kind of empiricism. Okay? Respectfully, I disagree. I've been pagan for 11 years. It's led me further to the left in light of things. I will admit I've been moving more towards the skeptic with witch position. I've had a moment where I've questioned... I'm not saying that pagans I'm not saying that pagans can't be like good people or paganism can't be like largely aligned with the left. Not saying that. I'm just saying that as someone who does not really believe in a deity or a god, I'm not particularly moved by the idea that a bunch of people say that the pagan gods are angry at any one given thing. I'm not, because I don't think they're real. So like, to me, it's not a moving argument. I totally recognize they may be real to folks in your community. That's totally great. But not it. That in of itself is not a moving factor for me. And I would hazard a guess that folks in like a Christian nationalist movement also don't put a ton of stock into pagan gods, but for a very different reason. Yeah, witches that I've met tend to be pretty left-wing. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mean to come across as if I was saying like, if you're religious, you're right-wing. That's not what I was saying. Let's see. Man, I cannot stress enough how little I want to get into a religious discussion right now on stream. I'm part of the right-wing trad witch movement. God damn it. Make witches great again. By the way, why do most conspiracy theories always revolve around one big anti-Semitic idea? Because that like it's kind of how they fill in the unreality of it, you know? The unreality of ideas, when you embrace an idea that is not grounded in reality, then it needs that kind of one big idea or one big scapegoat for why are people saying that this is real when it's not really real? Because we, the conspiracists, know the real truth, you know? And, like, that just tends to align with whatever group is most ostracized, which tends to be Jews or, more lately, trans people. Oh, I see how you guys got there. Yeah, when I'm talking about new age hippy dippy woo nonsense, I'm talking about like goop. I'm talking about like what's her face from the Iron Man movies that is selling like jade eggs that will cleanse the chakras of your vagina. Like crystal mommies. If you actually have like a more coherent like religious belief, I'm not talking about you when I'm talking about woo. Gwyneth Paltrow, thank you. Is Gwyneth Paltrow a Nazi now? No, but she does some real fucking weird shit. Yeah, spirit science would be a good example. Hey, my vagina needs chakra realignment. Oh god.
Great again.
Okay, and time for me. Xendu, thank you very much for the $20 super chat again. And yes, make Cthulhu great again. His time will come. Let's go. Thank you so goddamn much. Okay, so little story time. So my partner and I went to like a wedding expo. I don't know if any of you have ever been to a wedding expo. But it's weird. Wedding expos are really weird, guys. We both hated it so much. And it's apparently one of the largest in the state. It was in like this massive like track and field indoor space at a local university. what is a wedding expo? It's basically a place where a bunch of people that work in like the wedding industry set up booths to like advertise their catering or their decorating skills, or trips, or like stuff along those lines. And do you mean you and your partner? Yeah, that's why I said me and my partner went to a wedding expo. And so like we didn't really know what to expect, and we've been talking about getting married, especially because a Trump administration would be like a threat to, Obergefell, which is really scary. But there's a lot of legislation that would indicate, that you can be grandfathered in and your marriage would still be respected if you got married prior to any kind of overturning of Obergefell. What's a wedding expo? I just explained it. A wedding expo is like a place where like people who work in the wedding industry go and advertise their goods and services. Real Dan Cody, thank you for subscribing.
Another one.
Let's go. Hope you're doing well, friend. Skylight. Nice to see you in chat. So, because of Clarence? Well, not just because of Clarence. There's a conservative majority Supreme Court that has openly talked about wanting to overturn Obergefell v. Hodges, and conservatives hate gay people. So, like, it's a very real possibility that they'd want to overturn that. But anyway, we were talking about it, and we saw that there was a free... grandfathering? What do you... I'm not sure what you mean. The term grandfathered in is typically a term for, like, if you have, if you fall under the protections prior to a court case being overturned, then your status continues despite the fact that the court case got overturned. I hope that makes sense. Clarence Thomas wants to protect his own marriage. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, but he would never be affected by any of that anyway. Yeah. But Clarence Thomas would also be Loving v. Virginia, not Obergefell v. Hodges. Okay. Sorry. So a wedding expo is like a place where all these vendors go to advertise their wedding services. And my partner and I were like, if we're thinking about like a wedding, maybe there's something we're missing in this. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. Let's go check it out. And so we did. And we get there, and first of all, everyone was white, like to a honestly kind of freaky degree. And also, like, I guess people bring like a lot of folks along with them to wedding expos, because I was expecting to see like a lot of couples, And no, it was like brides-to-be with like their bridesmaid party like going together. Like there were groups of like 10, 15 people. And it was really uncomfortable, and also clearly not made for the gays. Because we walk in, right? We walk into this wedding expo, and the first thing that is said to us is, hey, enter to win this trip to Orlando, Florida. And it's like, we don't want to go to Orlando, Florida. It's not like, if I use a bathroom there, like I could go to jail. like I don't want to go to Florida. As like a trans person, that's like my personal hell. No, thank you. And like, we continued walking around, and like, so many of the wedding stuff was about like his and hers, and also like people advertising their decor services. I don't want to pay $10,000 when you can't even decorate a booth. You can't even decorate a booth in a gymnasium. You certainly can't decorate a wedding. I'm not impressed by the bundle of LED lights that's masquerading as a little fire. And also, like, I don't know. And again, I'm a trans lady, so like part of me is just kind of like, there are way too many vaginal rejuvenation booths in here. There are way too many vaginal rejuvenation services at this event. Like, to the extent that it made me uncomfortable. Way too many. What the fuck is that? Oh, if you guys don't know about this, apparently it's a whole thing where often women will go and get vaginal rejuvenation surgery, which makes them tighter for their wedding night, you know, in the vagina. Yeah. It's either surgical or it involves lasers. Yeah. It's really... Seeing all that stuff just made me go, oh, this is not for us. This is for people who are going to spend like $70,000 on their wedding. It's going to look cheap and bad. And I don't want that. Oh boy. So that was a time. Are they Jewish lasers? Yeah, everyone talks about the vagina. Everyone talks about the space lasers. No one ever talks about the vagina lasers. God damn, the straights are not okay. Was the fact that they were all white that was frightening, or their skin tone was frighteningly white? I mean, I feel like my skin tone is frighteningly white, so like, you know, I get it, but also it was less that like, I mean it's Minnesota. There are a lot of white people here, but like, there are also people who are not white here, and I guess I expected a little bit more of a diverse showing at a free wedding expo event. So I was a little... It was weird to me. Think anyone is okay? That's true. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like people need to have smaller weddings. That's my controversial take. Also, don't go to wedding expos. I guarantee you have better fashion sense, and you know what you like better than the people who are at those expos. Small weddings are better? I know! Actually get to talk to people. Smoke Walker, first of all, cool username. Second of all, thank you for the $10 dono. Look at that. Also, there were only 2 bathrooms at this expo, and they were all packed, and I hated it. It was terrible. 0 stars, would never go again. For Between Bits, should we do the thing to Very Knifey Duck? Yes. They reached out to me on Discord to accept. Very Knifey Duck, I hereby pronounce you modded. That's right. This is the official hand gesture. of being modded. I've long believed in the concept of too many white folks in one place leads to trouble. Honestly, yeah, that trust your gut on that one. You aren't modded yet, but someone on the mod team is working on a very knifey deck. Promise. I do, you know, when I finish my studio, which, guys, by the way, other life story. I finally got in touch with the contractor that I wanted to work on the basement studio, and that is in the process of going. So I'm going to talk with him at the beginning of next month, and we'll get the ball rolling on that. And I'm so goddamn excited. You guys have no idea. Gonna have a little cute gay studio room. Who's the duck? Very knifey duck is our knifiest mod. Will there be bisexual lighting though? I will do my best. Any room you're in is gay? True, but it's gonna get gayer. I literally walked past Whole Foods, took one look inside, and I was like, nah. Oh, did Terrence Howard read that math? Like, is he the one who did that math paper that we went over on stream? Some good stuff. Life. Wait, Tipster, what did you clip of me? And one of my backup plans, if every oh no. Okay, we don't need to rehash that. We don't need to rehash that. God, Terrence Howard is a real nut job. Okay. Guys, real big important story time, okay? Are you guys ready for maybe one of the most important stories of the day that may have been overlooked? So, apparently, Joe Manchin is finally willing to play ball. So for those of you who haven't been paying attention, Joe Manchin has basically been a colossal roadblock in getting judges appointed under Biden. And now he's willing finally to come to the table and start approving judges with Joe Biden. This is actually huge because this means that Joe Biden will be able to appoint judges in the final weeks before Donald Trump is, ascendant. Manchin pledged in the past he would only vote for nominees who could get at least one GOP vote. His reversal could be key to Democrats reaching a key milestone on federal judges. And I mean, frankly, hell has frozen over. Hell has frozen over, guys. This, I mean, I didn't expect this. Yeah, like things have gotten so bad that Joe Manchin found a heart. And that should maybe be troubling about the times we're in, but I'm glad he's shifting. Yeah, with Republicans taking the Senate and White House in 2025, this is the last call for Democrats on judges for at least 4 years. And Manchin is unfortunately critical in confirming judiciary picks. So yeah, we're living in interesting times. Yeah, one judicial nomination this week got just one Republican vote, Lisa Murkowski, and Democratic sources have acknowledged they are concerned that Republicans could drop all support in the lame duck session. And yeah, I mean, Senate Democrats confirmed 3 federal judges this week, bringing their total to under the Biden administration to 215. Also advanced 2 Thursday nominees to be considered on the floor. They're chasing the Trump record of 234 nominations. With Manchin's help, they might actually be able to hit that goal, which is important to do because, frankly, the more judges we can lock in during this last few weeks of the Biden administration, the safer people could be under a Trump administration. Like, the courts are going to be like one of the last places to really hold the line here. And when I say the courts, I mean like the lower courts. It could be that in a lot of cases, there's enough stalling and slowing in the bureaucracy by the lower courts that truly horrific changes might not come to pass until after a Trump administration, in which case, you know, cases could be dropped. So that's really interesting. All I'm going to say is this is maybe the biggest news story of the day, possibly of the week. And I know that this has been a crazy week for news, but like in terms of what could actually get us to a safer place in the next 4 years, this is what could do it. It's hopium. I mean, we'll have to see how many judges they're able to confirm here, but it is something. It is something. CBS has the latest on the House results. I mean, I heard earlier today that it was locked in that Dems were not going to win the House. Yeah, I'm just going to double check here. Yeah, no, Republicans have control of the House. Like, it's, I mean, it's not great, but I do kind of subscribe to Sam Seder's view on it, which is that with this kind of supermajority, it's going to be hard for them to maintain their coalition, but also it means that they actually have to do legislation, which none of them want to do. Most of these Republican toadies do not want to do not want to actually do legislation. They want to sit there. Oh, sorry, it's not a supermajority. You're right. You're right. They do have 3 houses, but it is not a supermajority. And so the GOP is going to control all levels of government next year. Kinda, yeah. That being said, there are still going to be some limits on their powers and abilities. For example, the filibuster, if they don't get rid of that. Trump, that's true, Dragonfly. I am interested to see how that plays out. I'm not willing to get too much hopium on that one. But Donald Trump is nominating House members to his cabinet, which could basically hamstring the House of Representatives. Hiccups. My God. And there are some things that do require a supermajority. That is true. So yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of power. Don't get me wrong, but there are some constraints, you know? If it's a 218 to 217 house, which it might be, that could temporarily make the house Dem controlled. That'd be pretty sweet. But I feel like the safest route right now is not to put your hopes in that basket, but it is good to know that it's not all completely fucked. I mean, most of it, like 90% of it is fucked, but maybe like 5% of it is still pristinely unfucked, which would be nice. Whatever happens, it's going to be chaos. Yeah. Yeah. We have to keep fighting? Unfortunately, yes. However, again, as like people on the ground, there's very limited things that we can do at this point to actually like affect nationwide policy, at least until the midterms roll around. That being said, it is why I'm trying to direct you guys to riverboat.gg/discord so that you guys can join the Riverboat Discord and do survival organizing. Help vulnerable people out of, you know, dangerous states that do not have those protections, because the protections are going to be stripped away. You know, I'm fully expecting LGBTQ rights to be rolled back to where they were in the 90s. And if you're in a state that does not have protections and you're young, that's really bad. We're talking like Matthew Shepard times, okay? So that's why we've set up some resources in the Discord for folks in the community to help one another. You can go there and volunteer to be a driver. There is some vetting involved in that, but you can volunteer to be someone who helps transport folks out of dangerous red states and into safer blue locations that have these codified protections. You can contribute to what we call the Lavender Pages, which is a community project to help folks who are moving to blue states have a little bit of local knowledge to navigate and orient themselves. You can contribute to the community skill mutual aid list, which basically you are putting your skill set at the availability of other people in the community to work with you and, you know, get clothes mended or get something cooked or, you know, stuff like that. Please check it out. We'll see. I mean, Story Girl, it's very possible that in red states we're talking like 50s era racism, sexism, you know, transphobia, homophobia, etc. But I think that state level protections will still hold up in states that have codified those protections into like their, you know, state level constitutions. I think it will be a bit mitigated in places like that, but it's still going to get bad for everyone everywhere in the United States. It's just a matter of degree. Some places will be safer than others. And we want to make sure as many people as possible get out of danger to the greatest possible degree. I still need a channel for the safe travel rainbow book locations I've been working on. Yeah, I can add that under Lavender Book. I'll do that right now. There we go. Created. And I'll put it at the top there. Whew, we did it. You're welcome, Gamer G. And folks, I haven't done a ton of shoutouts for this, but if you are enjoying the stream, hit the follow button on Twitch, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, like the YouTube stream, and consider dropping those subs and donos because, hey, that's what allows the stream to keep going. And if we get to 200 subs, Jazz Dog will be forced to do something very funny, which, you know, I think is sweet. I think that's swell. That's a great idea. We prepared. We still had a gay marriage ban on the books, but we repealed that just so we can remain a safe state. See, exactly, Amber Brains. That's the kind of forward thinking we need states to have to be actual safe havens. You know? We're in wacky times. We're in wacky times. Ay, ay, ay. Good night, Gamer G. We also have a lot of rooms for wacky memes and art and stuff, Skylight. America may be a boiling pot right now, but fear not. Together we are strong. We are ready. We are Crab.
Bees buzz buzz bee 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 bee.
Bee 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 bee. Look at that. 121, let's go. Good night, Lady Rain-Cloud. Driving to Michigan tomorrow. Have a good trip. Be safe. Tempestuous Teapot 78. Thank you for subscribing at tier 1 over on Twitch. I appreciate that. Love the utter despair that I feel. I will never be able to transition and I'll be stuck in rural Indiana forever. Well, hey, if you need a ride or help moving out of Indiana, I'm sure that there are people in our community that can help you get out and move someplace better. I know that there are a few people in Indiana in our community who are also looking to get out, so maybe we can all work together. A minor legally can't? Ugh. Sorry to hear that, friendo. But stay strong. There will come a time where you can get out. And also, like, it will get better, I promise. It sucks. I had to do that too. I was closeted until I was like 26. It sucks. I get it. But if you make it through, I promise it gets better. I'll get to vetting safe travel stop rooms for rest with my burlesque peeps. Amber Brains, that's so good. Also, I didn't know you did burlesque. That's awesome. The only way out is through. That's true. You know what? That's so true. All of you need to watch Andor. Okay? All of you need to watch Andor. Okay? I don't care if you like Star Wars or not. What if we're too broke to move? Well, the idea of like getting transportation covered would be that we would help you to do that. There's also a mutual aid like spot in the Discord where you can post GoFundMes. The idea being for that spot is that it is specifically for calls for aid in terms of like getting moving funds and stuff like that. You did burlesque for 25 years. That's awesome. Andor's fucking goated. Rogue One is fine. It's aggressively fine. Okay, they needed to do more character work in that film. But Andor is better than anything Star Wars has made in decades. One way out! I was closeted until a month before I turned 26, and today is 1 year on E and out. It gets better. Hell yeah, 4 frogs and a beanie. Congrats on coming out. Lived a long, glittery life. We have organizations in Washington that help with housing. Ooh, Nomadic. We have a Seattle page for Lavender Book, so if you want to go and throw some of those organizations on in the Discord, that'd be much appreciated. We're trying to compile like local resources like that, specifically so that other people know about them. As interesting as politics are, I shall go to bed thinking about lesbian dragons instead, much less stressful at this point. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. Oh, here. This is wonderful. Just as like another thing. So the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, posted earlier today. In Maryland, we believe that people deserve to feel seen, supported, and valued. That's why we're working to build a state where everyone can thrive. Let's continue to stand for our trans friends, family members, and neighbors because their stories enrich Maryland's story. Which is a really nice thing to see a Democratic governor post because, frankly, and I'm looking at fucking you, New York Times, you piece of shit. Frankly, a lot of Democrats are trying to throw trans people under the bus as like the reason Dems lost the 2024 election, which I'm loving to see the pushback here. Like the pushback on this is phenomenal from a lot of members in the Democratic Party. Look, don't give them too much credit. Don't give them too much credit, Arcanon, okay? Don't give them too much credit. They don't got spines. But you know what? They aren't quite bad enough people to throw trans people under the bus. But they posted with this.
I moved from out of state officially 3 years ago, and since coming here, there's been protection signed in for trans people, and as a trans individual, it's meant a lot that coming into a new state, I'm more protected and just safe, and just in my daily life and in school, and it's just been really wonderful, and you've signed those in, and I just kind of want to say thank you.
We're so happy and proud that you chose Maryland Day. The same respect, the same dignity, the same honoring of personal security and safety that we want for ourselves, that's exactly what I want for everybody. I just want everybody to know that they should be comfortable in their own neighborhoods, that they should be comfortable in their own communities, and they should be comfortable in their own skin. And I just want people to know that in our state, that we believe that humanity is humanity, and that people's humanity needs to be protected and respected. Every room you're in that room because you belong there. And you're in that room because that room would be incomplete if you weren't there.
That's really nice. That means something. That means something. That is a government actually working to keep a vulnerable child safe in a way that, like, it hits my heart. It hits my heart as a trans person. And it just seems like the world's gone crazy, but there's still some kindness out there. Still some kindness. Weirdly wholesome politician. Yeah, and I mean, like, very clearly in that interaction, he's still a politician. But at the end of the day, that weird politicianness is being used for good to protect that kid who just wants to be themselves. That's all any kid wants to be. You know, like, did you see the Haka video? Why, it's almost like you looked at my lineup. So, folks, there was a protest in New Zealand, in New Zealand's parliament yesterday. And in case you didn't see it, it was incredible. Okay? It was incredible. Basically, it's a protest against a reinterpretation of the founding treaty of New Zealand. Conservatives have been trying to push through like a pretty shitty reinterpretation of what the founding treaty between like New Zealand and the indigenous folks there, like what that means, what it says. And just kind of like take a look here. Okay. Okay. The country is often considered a leader in indigenous rights, but opponents of the bill fear the same rights are being put at risk by this bill. ACT, the political party that introduced the bill, argues that there is a need to legally define the principles of the 1840 Treaty of Waitangi, I'm probably mispronouncing that, which has been fundamental to race relations in New Zealand. The core values of the treaty have, over time, been woven into New Zealand's laws, in an effort to redress the wrong done to the Maori during colonization. But ACT, a minor party in the ruling center-right coalition, say this has resulted in the country being divided by race, and the bill will allow the treaty to be interpreted more fairly through Parliament rather than the courts. The party's leader, David Seymour, has dismissed opponents as wanting to stir up fear and division. So, basically, yeah. Oh, yeah, the courts will no longer oversee this. It will be, us in Parliament. Us, the guys in charge. We'll be the ones who decide what's right and wrong in interpreting this, which I don't have to tell you doesn't end well historically. And to protest this, a pretty wonderful protest occurred on the floor of New Zealand's Parliament. So let's take a look at that. This is during one of the votes.
E ono ngā pōti e whakahe. Kawana! Whakakamanu whiriti a keu! Kamate,
The House is suspended until the ringing of the bells. The gallery is to be cleared.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, for those of you who don't know what that was the Maori haka, which is essentially like one of the best war dances in the world. Let's be real. It's so good. Oh yeah, no, Story Girl. Like once the haka starts, you can't stop it. You have to finish it. It's like one of the coolest. It's one of the coolest and also very culturally important like things in Maori society, is my understanding. Oh yeah, that is a very, very long and storied dance. Here, maybe this this might be one of the most famous ones. This might actually get me DMCA'd, but you know what? We'll go with it. The New Zealand All Blacks do it a lot, and they're really good at it.
And now the All Blacks just waiting for the French to peel off the tracksuits, stand in front of them, and receive the challenge of the haka.
This is how they start their games. It's so good. Here, in order to make sure I'm not DMCA'd, I'm gonna shift it over when it actually starts. You can't mute it. They really give it their all, too. Just like, do you understand how loud they have to be for you to hear the hand slaps? How hard they're actually, like, hitting themselves, and, like, how loud they're projecting from their bodies? Like, it's like a full body experience. Now imagine that's being done in a situation where those extraordinarily burly rugby men are instead carrying weapons with which to beat the hell out of you. And that is intimidating as shit. Someone starts doing that at you in public, you better start running. Goodness. Also, this reminds me real quick. This reminds me, there is a show from about 4 years ago called The Deadlands. Y'all should check that out. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty, I think it's pretty neat. Essentially it's like a mini series about a Maori tribe in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. It's good. It's good stuff. It's really good. You should watch it. Polynesian dudes tend to be pretty big too. True. The Maori are incredibly chilled and laid back, but don't fuck with them. True. They slap in those meaty thighs. It's true. The member of parliament who started it, the haka, was only 22. Yeah, she did a good job. I didn't know that's what the show was about. Yeah, it's really neat. Maori. Okay, my bad. I'm very American and extraordinarily pale. Please forgive me. Big white dude in Parliament did not look impressed, though. He was too intimidated to say anything. He knew when to shut up. Oh, also, guys, if you're currently on Twitter, you should consider joining Blue Sky. Blue Sky is really nice. I've enjoyed being on there. It's people are nice on there. I offhandedly mentioned I had a bad day, and like 100+ people, when I had no followers, responded and gave me support. It was actually really kind. I have tried so many times to figure out how to use Mastodon effectively, and I can't do it. I've tried so hard. Yeah, download your data and either delete your Twitter account or take it private and don't post there anymore. I don't know what makes Blue Sky feel so much better, but it feels like an early social media site that still functions as intended. Also, it's totally open now. You don't need an invite code. Yeah, honestly, I'll probably still keep my Twitter account in locked mode, but I'll probably still keep it so that I can, you know, swim in the feces, as it were, to get my precious content. Do you think Blue Sky will take over Twitter and users? Honestly, might. I don't know if they will, but like I'm willing to find out. People have been leaving Twitter en masse and joining Blue Sky. I don't know if that will continue, but it would be very funny if Elon Musk basically just owned a shittier Truth Social. Oh man, I poked my head into Threads for all of like 10 minutes and I hated it. I hated it so much. It felt like I was being observed by a corporation the entire time. Like it just felt like I was training the corpo bots that will try and pretend to be your best friend. I would not be surprised if Twitter and Truth Social did combine. I don't know if there's a story about that out yet, but it would not surprise me. Beep boop. Also, I did commit to posting a very good butt pic on Blue Sky. I just need to actually take the butt pic. I've taken some good butt pics, but none of them were very good butt pics. Let's see. I had a whole, you guys, that whole B movie thing threw me off so badly. It threw me off so badly. I haven't been able to like get my feet back since. Because I wanted to go through and roast all of the Trump appointees so far, but I think we might have to do that on a new day. I think we might have to do that on a new day. Thought you just meant a really good selfie? No, I take those for free. Don't pick your butt. Gross. I know there's still time. I know I could roast a bunch of Trump appointees right now. I mean, guys, have you seen some of these motherfuckers? Here, I'll give you a small preview, okay? I'll give you a small preview. So, this is Mike Walls. This is Mike Walls. He's gonna be national security advisor, and I just look at how tiny his arms are. Look at how tiny his arms are. His head is so big and his body is so small. Was there an accident? Is he like Cotton from King of the Hill? And is it just a bad picture, you might say? And no, it's not just a bad picture. He looks like that in literally every single picture. He's a fucking bobblehead that came to life. Dude is just a little weird goober. He's a fucking Funko Pop. He's got little baby arms. Another tight suit victim. True. Anyway, I could not stop giggling about this man's proportionality or lack thereof. Look, maybe he just needs the suit to be tight to, you know, hold back his unadulterated might. Okay? They call him they call him the Funko Pop because he's about to pop. But anyway, I don't think we're going to do that for all of them today. That's it, I'm banning you. I don't think we're doing it for all of them today. I think what we're going to do instead is that I am going to end stream because it's been a tight 3.5 hours. It's been a tight 3.5 hours. And we'll jump in. We'll go over and watch the B movie in the Discord. Okay, we'll go to the Morby Time voice channel. We'll watch the B movie because I need to do some research because I apparently owe you guys a classy yet steamy and sensual romance fan fiction between this B character and Tucker Carlson. So when's next stream? We're gonna be doing another stream tomorrow evening. Much earlier than when this stream started. But that's what we're doing. We're doing B movie in the Discord. I love you all so much. Thank you for supporting stream so thoroughly today, folks. And I'm gonna raid you guys into Do 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 Doodleburb. Looks like Doodleburb's playing some Dream Drop Distance, which is a video game about Disney IPs being used irresponsibly, something that leftists love. So you go over there, you say hi, and you be nice to my little NB bird friend, okay? They're precious and need to be protected. This was so fun. I'm glad you guys had fun. This was far from the serious politics stream that I intended it to be, but you know, maybe that's for the best. Maybe we need something light today. You guys have fun, okay? Burp. I don't have an ending soon screen, unfortunately. So I guess I'm just gonna awkwardly, jarringly leave you into the void.